The Witch of Smyrna of Turkey, Maras Meymaridis, does a show with live invocations and incantations of spirits. The leveling descent of television finally has more levels. They are preparing to bring us face to face with witchcraft itself, the ultimate instrument of Satanism through television. The well-known author of the novel Witches of Smyrna, which became the bestseller and TV series Mara Meymaridis, is preparing for the channel of spiritual shows directed by well-known Homer Estathiadis. After all, we still have not seen anything. And Stella Meymaridi writes, "How would you feel if we saw live invocations of spirits that would respond to TV viewers? Unfortunately, this is not a science fiction scenario, but a grim reality, which we are all invited to live through our television receivers and indeed through a frequency of the president of the People's Orthodox Alert." Now, Mara Meymaridis and her spirit invocations, it's a new alternative mystical show which has a title Magical Nights, with the former Witch of Smyrna and well-known author and screenwriter Mara Meymaridis as the presenter. And according to the research done by the Holy Step blog, the show will be based on the soul and the issues of that torment it, approaching it as it's claimed psychoanalytically and metaphysically. What tortures a soul? Now, specifically, as the relevant press release informs us, there will be phone numbers for viewers who will ask for the opinion, personal and scientific, of the psychoanalyst on issues that concern them, such as love problems, marriage problems, work problems, sexual problems, etc. And while it will be possible for anyone who wishes to come to the studio to present live a topic that concerns them and to be analyzed in various ways. This time, however, the author, who has not hidden her metaphysical concerns, goes one step further and declares that she will also call spirits into the studio live. Now, how will the spirits respond to the author? This seems to be known only by her and her colleagues. The show is directed by the director, Omiros Estathiadis, while the editor-in-chief is the producer, close friend of Maras Meymaridis, the Witch of Smyrna. And it's worth remembering that she is in an interview about spells and whether she applies them in her own life. Of course, I believe them. I can't step without them. She says, "My first contact with spells was around the age of 16 when I was dying for a teenage crush and I was on the floor. Lots of crying and floor then. So an aunt of mine comes and says to me, 'Take these 2 ribbons and this candle and say these words. Let me tell you what I'm going to do now.'" So the aunt showed the girl, the teenage girl, how to incant, how to put a magic spell on her crush. Now, but though she says, though I thought about it again and said to myself, what have I got to lose? After I did this, not 10 minutes passed, and the man turned back on his own accord, and I knocked on my door. I went crazy with joy. I was flying, and as you can see, I cast one spell after another. My friends were also gathering around, and we all cast spells, she said. So in simple words, it's about the necromancy known to all of us, that is, the invocation of souls from the dead to communicate with the living, so that from this communication the living can learn the future or other unknown messages and things. And she says, in fact, it's that the records of the phenomena that take place during the invocation of spirits by mediums are terrible, phenomena that the Church knows very well from ancient lives and the writings of the Holy Fathers as being demonic, magical, and extremely dangerous. There's poltergeist going on, movement of objects, changes in weight and temperature of objects and their lifting, musics and clicks from nowhere, haunted places, typology, pneumatography, pneumatophony, psychography, psychochemistry, materializations, telepathy, shootings, and whatever. And according to the Christian Orthodox Church, the spirits that appear in such invocations are not of the dead, but transformations of demons. So these spirits are not the dead, even though they claim they are actually demons. The archimandrite of the holy metropolis of Nea Ionia, Mr. Timotheos Iliakis, stated in this regard, "I have not watched nor will I watch the show. Witchcraft in general is a libation to the demon. There is magic, there are sorceries, there are sorcerers, but all this is foreign to Christian teaching. A Christian who lives in the sacramental life of the church cannot attend or participate in ceremonies that praise the devil or use or his powers, because that is exactly what witchcraft does. Of course, it's worth noting that a Christian is not afraid of magic, because above any demon is Christ." But also the archimandrite, former religious officer of the General Staff of the Navy with the rank of colonel, Mr. Nikolaos Lavumidis, stated, "As long as man moves away from the source of life, which is God, everything absorbs and false is absurd and false is allowed. As for the channel that seems to host such a show, all I can think of is that each of us from the surplus of our garden gives and offers what we love. We wonder, with the collapse of this type of shows on television, what else we'll see. Do they read the Solomoniki in the news? In other words, the sorcerer's magic spells. This is terrible. Now they're having shows having to do with these things on television for people of all ages to watch. Please leave your comments about this, and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.